And good night. We are back for one more show of the neighborhood news. We've been on the air for the past 4 years. Channel 95, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock at night. We're back with one more show of the neighborhood news. If you are watching us and it's not a Tuesday night, it's because you're watching a repeat show. So please come back next Tuesday at 7 o'clock and we will have a brand new show for you. For our Portuguese listeners out there, sejam bem-vindos para mais programa de notícias da sua vizinhança. É terça-feira, 7 da noite, nós estamos aqui de volta com mais programa de notícias da sua vizinhança. Se está a nos escutar e não é terça-feira à noite, é porque está a escutar programa que está a ser repetido e, portanto, volte para a nossa companhia terça-feira às 7 da noite. Nós teremos programa novo para si. And we're back today, and we have two guests. I think the Flint, it's the Flint boys are back. The Flint boys are back today. Jean St. Pierre is our director for our program, drug prevention program, and is joining me today on the show. And our PR and marketing director, Bruno, and it's been a couple of weeks since Bruno talked the position, but you know, we had to meet at least 10 times now in 2 weeks. I mean, between meetings and events, we always in contact. So
right.
Welcome to the club.
Absolutely, it's a learning experience, but it's fun at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, when we do this for fun, we always like what we do, and
we eat good.
Yes, and he eats good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Jean's been on that field for so many years that it comes natural, right?
Yeah,
this thing's come natural. Just like your job, what you do, and it's perfect because it comes natural. It's something that you like to do, that you love to do, and it makes the life so much easier to do. Same thing, it's with me. I love what I do, and I love what I've been doing for years, and everything's coming easy.
Right.
For some people, it's like a salesperson. Some people struggles to sell a coffee, and some people can sell the whole company. You know, so it's. I think that's the way things are. But I have to say that. It's so much going on the Flint, and we are getting excited. It's more events coming, and more events we've been booking. Just last week we had the parade, which was not on our agenda. Was another one that we had to squeeze in too, and. I had fun doing it. You were there with me. Jane was there. He didn't walk, but yeah, we didn't have the wheelchair. We forgot about the wheelchair. So today we're going to talk about the Flint and some programs that we have on the Flint. I would like just to go over just a little bit of the agenda just last month.
Yes.
And last month we had a really nice event with the Shrimp Mozambique, which we raised money for our Katia Sart Scholarship. That was on a Saturday. On the Tuesday following, I attended the award nights at Durfee, and I gave the money to Natalie Assad, the daughter of Katia Sart. The person that we honor with the scholarship, and she handled the check to the winner, and the winner was Kai Uara. So for him, the best wishes for all of us on the Flint, and I hope that he has a lot of success and move on to college now.
That's great.
Then we had, at the same time, we had our food pantry, which is which is a work of one of our directors on our boards, Faith and her volunteers at the school yards, at the Vol School, they fed 240 people.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
and that was the first,
Yep.
the first of 8. And I want to remember
Wow.
that we did 3 last year. And the
Wow.
last one we served 130 people.
Wow.
So this is one of 8 that we're going to have during the summer, and we're starting good already.
Already,
You know, I mean,
yeah, up
we
a
do
little
that. We do that event for people to come.
Right,
you know,
right.
I mean, a number 250. It's just a number for us. We had plenty of food, and we are prepared because we know the number is going to keep rising.
right,
So
right. That's
we
good.
have plenty of food, and so we want everybody to have at least a nice meal on that day. And then the last thing that we had on our agenda was the neighborhood meeting, which we invited the City Council on Safety Committee,
Yep.
which was very well attended. That I put some notes on my agenda, and I had a chance to present them to the board and request the board to please follow up. It was something that it was never done before. It was a follow-up. We go, we complain, and then a year goes by, and
Right.
nothing is done.
Right.
So we never heard back from nobody, not from them, not from the inspectors, from nobody. So let's see if this now it's going to happen. And we had two things that we approached the board. I approached the board with a couple of ideas, and I got their support to put into effect. One was getting Bruno, and another one was to get Jean in charge of our program. Drug prevention program. And I have to say that it's not just me. I have an excellent board. I have a board that it's dedicated. I have a board that on their own, they do stuff. They go out into the community, and they have their own projects.
Right.
They all have their own projects, which we hug.
Yeah,
and
you
we
bring
say,
it all together.
this becomes now a work of a neighborhood.
Right, right.
And that comes from Eric with the bike pads and Mass in Motion, to Faith with the food pantry, to Joe with LNG, what he's having is plate full again,
Right,
because LNG is starting moving to New Bedford, so he's getting very involved again.
He's getting psyched up.
Exactly,
Yeah.
he's getting a lot of contacts again. It's going to be another big fight. To Amy, that takes care of our youth program with our kids. And all of this, Kim Bruno, which I have to thank him because he brings his expertise and just putting this information out. And then with Jane, we had a couple of projects before this came, this
Right.
idea came, and we had met for a different idea which had nothing to do with the association. But I approached Jane and I said, I would like to do something in a small level, but I would like to do something on our neighborhood association, because we do have, our neighborhood have problems with
Right.
drugs. And we want to educate, we want to start buying the kids, make sure they don't get into the system. I approached the boards, and I first had a one-on-one conversation. Then we had met, and then they had voted. And I think this is I think that's how the mayor should work with the city councils, right?
It would work. It would work. Yeah.
I think it will work.
Yeah,
you know,
it would work.
If you approach your idea to the city council
Right.
before you just open to everybody, you know.
Well, then nobody can say they went in on it, right?
Exactly. So, but I mean, but that's my system. That's my system. That's something that I approached first. I approached my board one-on-one. What do you think? What do you think I should do? What do you think I should approach?
Right.
How we think we should do it? And then the group keeps growing. And I have to say, we have 7 board members now. Out of those 7, to have anything approved, I need 5.
Yeah.
Which the margin, it's very small.
Right.
3, that's it. I don't move it. And I had some stuff that I had approached them, and then they kind of talked to me about, you know, I don't think it's good. I don't think we should go in there. Maybe it would be a good idea now, but down the road it's gonna affect us. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna kind of move the way the system, the way we've been working, and we've been working fine until now. And I understand and I support them for being open to me, and we kind of work together. They bring some ideas to me. I love that we put them into action, and I bring some ideas to them. 90% of the times I get the support, but I always have that 10% of the time that they, you know, to me, I think it's a great idea, and then when I have them kind of explaining to me why it's not that great idea, I understand, and that's it. We move on. We have a lot more projects to work.
Yeah.
This is just one, and we move forward. And I think that's what we're missing between the 6th floor and the second floor. You know, city councils and mayor. I think it's that communication that we need to first talk about the idea before you even bring the idea out.
Right.
Let's talk about the idea. Nobody's going to steal ideas from nobody, you know, but it's just the way we're going to approach. Gene.
Well, you know what? You brought up the meeting, the neighborhood meeting tonight. And what I came out of that with was, I was a little surprised. I try to stay on top of the numbers as they come in. You know, I have a couple of sources that tell me about the overdose rates, and I was, when he turned around, he said 81 overdose. And I thought that was high, right? Because I figured, I said, well, we're supposed to have this, and we're supposed to have that, we're supposed to be doing this. How do we get 81 overdose? But then it really shocked me because he said 23 of them were in the Flint area. Now, if you break that down, I'm no mathematician, but 23 out of 81, you get the whole rest of the city. That's a high number. I reconfirmed some numbers today, and there was actually 4 deaths out of the 81. So the first responders, the police, everybody that's involved, are doing a good job. Because if you think of, I mean, one's too many deaths, but they save a lot more than they lose. So they are doing a good job. I just don't know, without being critical of anyone or anything, I just don't think we're doing the right thing out there. I don't see it. I talk to people, you know, I'm in restaurants all day, different places, and people are saying, like, what's going on? What is going on? What are we doing? What is the city doing? What is this program doing? Gee, didn't we just get some grant money? And what happened to that grant money? So people are starting to, again, pay attention. And they want answers. And I can't give them the answers because, like I tell them, I don't know what's going on. You know? So I think bringing this prevention up now is really good because you have the numbers, okay? Already, you know, you got the numbers in the Flint because of what we just read. Now, I'd like to break that down. I'm going to see if I can break that down to ages. How many of these were young? From what I'm hearing is it's not the real young kids. which is good. So we need to really focus on the younger kids, 8, 9, 10, you know. And with that, obviously, comes a problem, and that's parent consent. You got these parents that believe that if they isolate their children and don't talk about drugs, don't talk about needles, don't talk about anything negative, that they're somehow going to protect their children. When every study ever done indicates the opposite.
Yes, we need to talk to them
We
about.
need to talk. We need to. School department is supposed to have a curriculum that they're looking at to put in place. I've reached out. I got a couple of city councils that are going to keep me in the loop of what's going on. I think it's critical we get in there. I've worked with other school departments in Rhode Island, and what I notice is they go out and they buy a curriculum from some organization that makes them, and it always seems like the age cutoff is too high. And then they do this, and then that's the end of it. What we need to do is bring back the health education that we had when we were kids, that you have classes every single week throughout the entire year, so that you're updating new information, but you're keeping it up front with them, you know, and have more. What I want to do with the parents is, I don't know if they know how to talk to their kids about drugs. I think it's a real uncomfortable thing. So I think we need to figure a way of talking with the parents, letting the parents know, you know, your kid's not going to talk to you if they're afraid that you're going to get mad because they seen somebody with a joint in a locker. At Fall River, for whatever reason, I don't know, we have been behind the 8 ball. I've been in the business since 1990. We've been behind the 8 ball all along. We never even, we take 2, 3 steps up, we go back 15.
One thing that I really like, the program that we're gonna serve is the educational part.
Right.
The mothers and fathers that lost a kid
Right.
to drugs,
Right.
they're gonna be through that testify, talking to the kids. Those that turned their lives around, and today they business people, their life really changed, and bringing those true stories in front of kids, into classrooms, into events that we can provide to kids. I think that's the part that I really love about this program that we're gonna implement it on the association, because we have different ways to approach them. We already have the contacts. Tomorrow, I'm going to be taking a tour with kids from the Espiritu Santo school that's gonna go into high school.
Right.
So I'm going to bring them around Fall River to talk to them about the Portuguese monuments to celebrate the Day of Portugal, because they all, 90% of them are second generation. So their parents are either born here, but they speak good Portuguese, or they even moved over here when they were very small. So they still connected to the Portuguese traditions. And we're going to visit the Infante do Henrique. We're going to go into the waterfront and to Mr. Teixeira that came from Nordeste. And we're going to end up at Portugalia for lunch.
Oh, that's
so,
great.
Portugalian ports,
Good.
they provide them lunch, the Portuguese lunch, right? We've been doing this for 4 years. In a week or two, I'm going to be bringing 4 classes to the bioreserve. So we have the contacts with the kids already,
Right.
you know, and I think this would be a plus for us since that we already adopted the schools on our neighborhoods, that we have that contact with the kids, that kids already know us,
Right,
okay,
right.
and know what we do, and they already motivated about us, and they recognize the work we do. We have the foot right inside the schools to
You're already there.
educate the kids.
Yeah,
exactly.
you're already there. You just got to build on it now.
Exactly.
You know? And what I've noticed too, sometimes we try to reinvent the wheel when, if you keep it simple, it's a lot easier. I ran a program in Rhode Island that was a DCYF program, which is the equivalent to DSS here. And these kids were all placed. They were all homeless, so at night they went to a youth shelter, and during the daytime they came to my program. We had a regular school there, so they had 4 hours of school. Then they had 4 hours of life skills, which was what I taught. And my driver for the program, he used to load the van up, and he would take them to Cranston, up to the dump. When I heard about it, I almost died. He used to bring them all the way up to the top of the dump, and he'd get them all out, and he'd say, look around. And they'd look around. They were kind of amazed because, in actuality, the dump there is the highest point in Rhode Island. So you can see, I mean, almost Newport. You know, and then he would talk about what they were standing on, environmental, educational, and the kids were like amazed, you know what I mean? And because they could see so far, they had never been up there. And I said to him, how did it go? He says, oh, I've been doing this a while, but I didn't want to tell you. I said, well, you just keep doing it.
Yeah,
You know? So there's a lot of easy things you can do, you know, and that's what we got to do.
And I think that this is going to be excellent, because if we concentrate, instead of concentrating in so many different and going so many different directions, let's be good at one thing, and let's educate the kids that, you know, they're moving on into college.
Right.
They're moving on into high school. That's when they're going to start really dealing with this. Right now, we can educate them in a way that when they get there, they say, you know, I already heard about you, you know? And that's the part that I love about the program, and that's the part that we're gonna succeed, because we're gonna bring true stories.
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of...
The sad stories, you know, those that didn't make it. And the true stories, those that really make it and their life changed.
Right. Like the program I told you about, I've already made some calls, that the Sheriff's Department runs. And they've actually been running that since, I guess, late 70s or 80, the Project SLAM, which stands for Students Learning a Message. And they go out to the schools and they talk to the kids. Then the school brings the kids to the jail, and they get to go in a cell and have the door shut, and they get to talk to inmates. And the inmates tell them about how they were wise guys in school and where it got them. So I want to try to wrap that into what we're doing too.
Yes.
You know, because you need to give them a little shock, a little love, a little education, and as long as I've been in this field, one thing I've learned is, if you try too hard, you don't succeed. Things will fall in place.
Yes.
The parents are the hardest ones. It ain't the kids, it's the parents. The parents are the hardest ones to reach. Look at PTA meetings. Is there even a PTA meeting anymore? When I was a kid, there would be 40 or 50 parents there.
Yes.
So where things have changed, we need to change with it.
Yeah, and I know you're already having a couple ideas that you're going to bring into the association for support, so you could start your program.
Right, we need to get approval. Right?
And starting the program. I know it's going to be another success
Right.
you know, and another page
Yep.
that we're gonna move on our book, and
Yep.
and all the stuff that we've been doing so far, and everything that we've been accomplished. And
Let me give you one more piece before I forget it, because I got such a bad memory. I have a friend who's a master's level clinician, and I talked to him about a lot of things. He's still in the field, I'm out, so he's up to date. And we talked about all these new things that the governor wants. He wants these peer educators, these peer counselors, all this stuff, coaches, right? Recovery coaches. And he's actually looking into a place to do the training for us that will come here. And we just gotta provide the people that want to be trained. And I'm envisioning already a youth program like you got already, that are all certified as peer educators and recovery coaches, that can go to schools on their own, that can go to the churches, that if they're in the playground down Travassos, which is coming up next, if they're at Travassos and they hear something, they're going to have that knowledge to identify what's going on and maybe say, hey buddy, what's going on? And get the wheels turning. So that's another piece I'm looking at. I'm hoping that if I can get it, we get the board to approve it, because it's a lot of pieces.
yeah, yeah. I think we're gonna succeed one more, and
Absolutely.
Bruno is kind of learning all this. It's a lot of
Well,
information.
Bruno, it don't happen though.
It's gonna be Bruno's gonna be
Yeah.
like an old computer once we start
sucking
smoking.
it all up like a-
Start smoking. It's too much. It's
Like
too
a
much
big sponge.
information for the small hard drive.
Yeah. But you know, just not that it has anything to do with this though, but it does in a way. Without Bruno, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that he doesn't like to get,
Yep.
recognized. But I was building this program that I have for 2 years.
Yes.
And I never had more than maybe 60 members
Yep.
in 2 years. I was with Bruno, and in 3.5 weeks, we reached already 65,000 people.
Wow.
In 3 weeks. That's because
Oh, and since you're touching in there, I have to say too that since Bruno took over, our Facebook page has
Went
been,
right up.
the numbers been way high. You know, every post that we've been putting in there.
And it's only been about a week.
You know, it's I mean 200-300 viewers like in 1 hour. You
Great,
know, it's
great.
it's amazing the job that that Bruno's doing too, and I'm so happy that all this is happening.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy because I think that's the way things should run.
Right.
It makes all lives a lot easier.
Right. Absolutely. We work as a team.
Very good. I'm pretty sure Gene will come back one of these days with more ideas from the project.
A few weeks. Yeah.
And Bruno will be with me here next week because Bernadette's still on vacation.
Bye, folks.